Your team sucks. Live. Gorilla George, what's up, my man?
My team's sucking always, but everything else is pretty good.
Yeah, I wanna get on my soapbox here to open the show. And I have no hatred for the Dallas Cowboys, and we're getting complaints about that all we do is bash the Cowboys. Well, this is actually not true if you watch the show. Now, the Cowboys are having a very tough year. So when you watch this show, we're not going to sugarcoat the performance of the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I'm almost to the point where it's like I want them to be at least mediocre again so we can talk about their mediocrity. And in many ways, I think the Cowboys, this is probably one of the best things that could have happened to them, if I'm being honest, because now they had to go in one direction or the other. They had to go really up or really down, and they went down, and it's okay. But I want to say to the Cowboy fans who are complaining about our show, listen, you have a great organization. You have a great history there. We acknowledge that all the time on this show. Great history. In fact, I tell Gorilla George all the time that if the owner wouldn't have fired Jerry Jones or parted with Jimmy Johnson, if he would have parted ways with Jimmy Johnson, that team probably has more Super Bowl rings than the New England Patriots, because that team was amazing. That Cowboy team in the 90s was incredible. But we have to be real on this show. What can we say? We have to be real, right? Even George and Luke are two of the biggest Cowboy fans I know have started to be real, because what else can you do? Great history, great franchise. They've been mediocre for a long time, but we're going to be honest on this show about where they are. And the truth is, as much as I admire their history, admire Jimmy Johnson, Tom Landry, that whole, legacy that has been built there, they are not immune to having to rebuild, ladies and gentlemen, and to being an NFL team and going through things just like every NFL team goes through. Miami Dolphins went through it. Cincinnati Bengals have been going through it in their entire pretty much existence. So it happens. But when we talk about it, we don't want y'all to get mad at us. Just participate in the conversation. And if you can't take the damn heat, get out of the kitchen. Okay, I get that. But let's have a debate about the Cowboys, past, present, and future, and let's talk about it. George, that's my pitch.
I never, ever, ever shit on the Cowboys. I give constructive criticism. I say, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. But I've never shit on the Cowboys because they've always been in my heart since the 1970s. That's my team since the 70s. So to sit there and say I've shit on a team is pathetic. But they're bad right now. If you can't look at the team and say they're bad, then what the hell are you doing?
Right.
I mean, you look at the color, it's red, it's red, it's blue, it's blue.
And I said last week, I live in Dallas. And a Miami Dolphin fan lives in Dallas, and they could give two shits about the Dolphins here. Nothing. You're finally starting to hear like, oh, wow, there's a team in Miami because they're winning. You're actually hearing that on sports radio. You wouldn't even have known that the Miami Dolphins existed in the NFL here in Dallas because it's Cowboys all the time. But I said last week that they acted like they won the game, and they didn't win the game. And then we got some hatred. We got some people upset with us about that. But, what can we say?
I know where they got upset. When you guys started giving him the participation trophy. That was I think that's when it went downhill last show.
No, I stand behind what I said last show, though, about the Cowboys. And if you look at the schedule, the Eagles have a much, much tougher schedule moving forward. And granted, they're better right now and they're getting healthy, but the Cowboys just put up a good show against the best team in the NFL, at least with the best record, right before their bye week. If they were ever going to get right this season, this is their chance to get right and do something with a lot of easy games coming up. So
Jordan,
I said a lot of good things about the Cowboys.
Let's clean the slate right now. Dallas Cowboy fans. We're cleaning the slate right now. We're gonna see how you do the rest of the season. I'm not gonna judge you based on anything you've done so far because listen, you lost the last game, but you have the rest of these games, and Jordan's right. You have a chance of still winning the division. So let's see what happens. Luke, I know that makes you happy.
I think they have a better chance than people think. I would actually maybe bet that they would win the division.
Yeah. All right.
Depending on what odds.
Into our picks. Here we go. It's week 9. We have
got a good one tonight.
Matchups in this, man. We got some great matchups this week. We're going to get through them quick. As usual, guys, Jordan, I'm talking to you. We're going to pick or pass. And if you like the game, you're going to pick it. You're going to tell us why, and we're going to move on. We're trying to, keep the show around 30 minutes. So here we go. So we got the Indianapolis Colts that are at the Tennessee Titans. This is basically a pick 'em. You got the Titans that are +1 here. George, what do you think?
This line opened Tennessee -2. It's flown all the way over to Colts -1. I think it's a no-brainer. You take the Colts tonight. I know you guys are going to like that pick, but I'm actually betting this one. The Colts. I took the Colts at a pick earlier, I think it was Thursday. I bet it last week at a pick. So you got -1 now. Take it. It's not going to land 1. So I would say take the game, take the Colts, and you're going to win some money tonight.
Jordan, you like this game?
I do, as high as I've been on Tennessee all season, and I do like them. I think this is a great spot for the Colts, and I agree with George. I would take them here.
Luke, any thoughts on this one? You liked it?
I would definitely go the opposite way with the Tennessee Titans on this game for sure.
Yeah, I would not touch this game with a 10-foot pole. I just think it's too close. It's Philip Rivers playing.
Yeah, he's upgraded to probable.
Yeah, Philip's going to play. I mean, if he wasn't going to play, we would probably heard about it. So, yeah, he's probable. Brисsett's
not a bad backup, though. I mean, really, it's not that big of a step down. Philip Rivers is not an elite quarterback.
No, I agree.
Defense.
That's very interchangeable quarterback spot.
All right. We got the Tampa Bay Bucks, the GOAT, giving 6 points to the Carolina Panthers. You got Tampa Bay coming off a straight-up beat down. They got beat down by the New Orleans Saints. Man, I don't touch this one either for the simple fact I don't trust Tampa anymore. And Carolina is game. They're scrappy. I don't touch this one with a 10-foot pole, George.
The last time they played each other, last time that Tampa played and got beat up by the Saints, the week after they came and crushed. So I think laying the 6 might be the bet, but I'm staying away from it. Tampa's going to have to come bounce back. Arians ripped all over Brady. They're going to have to do something this week. I don't know. I don't play it, but if I had to, it's -6.
Jordan.
Yeah, a lot of talk from people I'm talking to about teasing the Panthers up over a touchdown there. It's a very popular play right now. The Panthers have been a really good team for how bad they've been. They've been in all of these games. Expect Mike Davis to be there and not Christian McCaffrey. So that's definitely a downgrade at running back, but Mike Davis has done admirable. That coaching staff has been great, but I still think the play is Tampa Bay here. I think it's a big bounce back for them. They were all sorts of wrong against the Saints, and they're still in the playoff hunt. I mean, they're still actually hunting for that number 1 seed, although it's a lot harder now. So, yeah, give me the Bucs here.
They are definitely a division rival as well, too, which those games typically are pretty close, right? One of our watchers there is making that point. Lukachi.
In this game, I like the Bucs to win the game, but honestly, I'd probably stay away from betting on this for sure.
All right.
I think Mike Davis has been a Pro Bowler this year.
Yeah, he's looked great. I mean, he deserves more playing time. I mean, honestly, as all-world as Christian McCaffrey is, you can almost think about, hey, can you get 2 firsts for him? Because 2 firsts and Mike Davis doesn't sound all that bad.
You're not joking. Mike Davis looks great.
All right, we got the Cleveland Browns that are -3, and they are playing the Houston Texans in Cleveland. I actually love this game. I love the Browns in this game. Now, that as long as Baker Mayfield is playing, I believe he was put into the protocol. But yeah, if Baker plays, I like the Cleveland Browns to beat the Texans by more than 3. Jordan? Sorry,
Yeah. George.
Oh,
yeah.
This game is a stay away game because I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure if Mayfield's going to play. He's under the COVID. I stay away from this one.
Jordan?
I like the Browns in this one. I think they'll win this pretty handily. I think they get their running game early, and I think the Texans are kind of falling apart. I love the over in this one as well, the over 49.
Lukachi, you like this game or no?
I like the game if Mayfield plays. If he doesn't play, stay away from it.
You know that total opened up 54. It's at 49 now, so be very, very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know how I feel about the Texans. I think they've been overrated a long, long time. And if I haven't mentioned it before, the Dolphins get their first and second round pick. So go Browns.
I think
once or twice a show.
I think a lot of the teams quit. Have you noticed? What's his name? A lot of teams have quit. The defense is not playing so hard. Houston might have had a big problem getting rid of Hopkins last year. Is affecting him this year.
For sure.
I agree with that. J.J. Watt wants out. Expect him out at the end of this year. I'm actually surprised they didn't do something at the trading deadline. Interesting thing
he was
there.
Trying to get into the Steelers.
Steelers, the other thing is he's from Green Bay, and he grew up a Green Bay fan. He's a local there, was a season ticket holder growing up. I could see him going to Green Bay or the Steelers if he wanted to be a competitor.
All right. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Green Bay Packers. Wow, it's a college line, almost a college line. You have Packers -13.5. I actually really like the Packers here. I don't think that the Jags would be able to stay with them. I play this game, and I take the Packers minus the points. George?
This is a tough game with a lot of points, but I agree with you. I take the Packers because the Jags are just nothing of a team. But I don't play this game. There's too many points to bet.
Jordan?
Yeah, interesting thing. It just came across my news feed that somebody bet $99,000 to win 9 that the Packers would straight up win this on the money line. I think it's too many points for a pro game. I'm not betting this any way, but I will add the Packers on the money line to every single one of my parlays this week.
Luke?
Honestly, I'd stay away from this game. Too many points, but of course, the Packers are going to come up with the win. But 14 points, 13.5, that's a lot.
All right. So we have the great. Okay, Cowboy fans, this is for you. We have the best division in football here by far. They're tough. They're scrappy. The NFC East, and it's the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. Philly is -3 in this game. Jordan, since George is a spinning wheel right now, I'm going to go ahead and get your take on it. What do you think?
I mean, the NFC least, right? None of these teams are doing that great. I do believe the Giants remind me a lot of the Dolphins last year. The players are buying into the coaches. There's not a lot of talent there with Saquon Barkley injured. But they're looking better every week, especially on defense. Philadelphia is getting more healthy, so I'm staying away from this game altogether.
Lukachi, this is your division, Luke. It's that you know about this one. What you think?
Honestly, the Eagles are a better team overall. So if I had to put money down on this game, I'll definitely go Eagles. But as a Cowboys fan, whatever is closest, least path to resistance as far as us getting back on top is wherever I'm going for.
Interestingly enough, first game all season, last game, Danny Dimes didn't have a turnover. So
right. Well, I'll do George. I'll do George's take here for you. Yeah, it's a shit franchise. Oh, there's George. I was doing your take for you, George.
There you go.
All right, real quick, George. You got Eagles at the Giants. Eagles giving 3 points to the Giants.
Oh God.
Oh no, you can't hear us. All right, so
Hey, Benny, let's keep
here we go. I'm gonna be George now. Division sucks. The Eagles suck. The Giants suck. Both two shit organizations that never did anything. So I don't touch this game. And there's George's take there. I just there you go.
Sounded just like him.
You know, when you go live, you're only as good as the Wi-Fi that you have. So there it is. Now look, this is the game that I've been waiting to talk about right here. You got Tua versus Herbert, two excellent young quarterbacks. They look to be like they're going to be stars. Now, it's still way too early to say that, but these are two football teams that are playing pretty well, and I know the Chargers cannot figure out how to win a game, but I think they're actually fairly well. They're pretty evenly matched with the Dolphins. So you got the Chargers that are getting 1.5 in Miami. Now, I actually would play this game. I like the Dolphins here for the simple fact that, Herbert can move around a little bit and he can scramble and he can run some, but every quarterback that has basically been a pocket passer has gotten beat up by the Dolphins. And so I would expect that to happen here. There's George.
Hey,
you're back.
I'm back.
Right.
I don't know what my shit went
I did your take. I did your take on the Eagles and on the Eagles and Giants for you, by the way. So,
that's all right. I wouldn't have played that one either.
Yeah, it went something like this. Both these organizations suck. They're fucking loser organizations, and I don't play this game at all because they all suck. That's pretty much what I said for you.
That's about right.
But two organizations that are up and coming, and I guess you could say the Chargers are kind of up and coming because they have a great young quarterback. We got the Dolphins, George, versus the Chargers. And I love this matchup. The Dolphins are giving 1.5 here. It's almost a pick 'em. But I really like the Dolphins in this game just because Herbert is mobile to a certain extent, but he's not going to take off and run. The Dolphins have struggled with any quarterbacks that can take off and run. I think this could be actually the longest day for Herbert that he has seen so far with those two shutdown corners in Miami and all the exotic pass rushes and things that they're going to throw at this kid. I kind of see it like when you see Bill Belichick go up against a rookie quarterback. That's what you're going to see here. You're going to see Flo put together a game plan to really slow this kid down. And I think that Dolphins probably win this by 3-4 points. Jordan, what do you think?
Well, all of the Chargers' losses have been one-score losses this season. They're a lot better than their record says. On the flip side, Miami on a 4-game win streak has been woefully outgained in yards in almost every one of those contests. The score has not been indicative of how the game flow goes at all. It's a great job coaching, a great job game planning from other teams, but their record is a lot better than their actually team is just because they're well coached and they find a way to win the close ones. I like the Dolphins to win this one, but I am staying away from it. I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors.
I love stats guys like you, Jordan, that look at stats and then go, "Oh, they've given this up." Well, several of those games they've had huge leads, like against the Rams, and then they play soft, and essentially they bend but don't break, and then people go, "Oh, they give up a lot of yards." I think they're third or fourth in points given up in the NFL. That's the Miami Dolphins. George, what do you think about this game?
I think this is a tough game that Miami's gonna scrap. This game actually started 2.5 and it's been coming down. The smart guys are on the Chargers. I bought up a 3 early. I think the Chargers beat the Dolphins. I can't see the Dolphins winning 4 and 5 in a row. This is it. I think the Dolphins went on their big streak and they're going to start coming back down to earth a little bit, getting back to the 500.
Luke, what are you thinking on this one? Any take?
Yeah, I like Tua. I like the way he played that last game. he definitely showed some potential, a lot of potential. So I expect him to come back and do it again. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Dolphins.
Well, I'll say this is that to George's point, I've been skeptical up until now. I didn't think that the Dolphins were going to beat the Cardinals, and it had a lot to do with what we were going to get from Tua, and were they going to open things up and let him play, and they did. But my X factor here is the two shutdown corners that are there in Miami, and I just think that the defense makes a lot of plays. They scored a touchdown again last week, and I'm just comparing Justin Herbert to Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray is an absolute beast, and I don't know if Herbert is as dangerous as Kyler Murray. Dolphins are at home. He's more stable in the pocket. I just, this is the first time that I've actually said, okay, I think the Dolphins are looking good to actually win this game. And the truth is, Anthony Lynn, I think he's a good coach, but he hasn't learned how to win. He hasn't learned how to teach this team how to win. Brian Flores, they know how to win games. I mean, they, even last year, they figured it out at the end of the year of how to actually put a game plan together to win the game. And so I just like the Dolphins here.
What's won in the game is the special teams and the defensive scores, what they've had in the last 3 games. They're not going to get another one. You don't think those come every week. And those have won them the game. They've won by a touchdown or less in the last 2 or 3 games. So if you're thinking they're going to get a defensive score every game, then they might win every game. But I can't rely on a defensive score. And I just think they get beat this week. I just feel it.
Yeah, we'll see. Another excellent
Chargers
game.
defense is a lot better than the Cardinals as well. A lot better.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Tua can do with a good defense and pressure in his face when his defense isn't handing it to him. Brian Flores is a great coach. Excellent coach.
100%. I mean, to do what he's done in a short period of time without having – the Dolphins have some talent, but they're not loaded. Now, guess what? In 2 years, they're going to be loaded with talent, with all the draft picks they have. So you put that coach. The Dolphins are up and coming.
For sure.
I don't think they're a dominant team, but they're going to be in every game. And there's probably a lot of teams, if they make the playoffs, that are not going to want to see them at all. And so
Dolphins just put Van Noy on the COVID list as well. That's their best linebacker. Doesn't help.
No, for real?
Yeah, it just came across.
So it's
getting bad, man. It's getting bad. There's a lot of people.
They probably won't play.
I mean, you guys
on the list, and he has to isolate, or does he have COVID?
They said they put him on the COVID list, and they're separating him from the team. That's all that's come across so far.
But on the list, that means you only need like 72 hours to clear it. If you're cleared for 72 hours, a negative, then you can play. So
hopefully he plays.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, there's 2 games already off the board because of it. The Cincinnati and Pittsburgh games off the board.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was going off all week. The other game was the Detroit game wasn't off the board. There's 2 COVID games this week that aren't even on the board.
Wow.
I mean, they're going to play them, but there's so many injuries we can't get a good line on them.
Well, this gave me a thought about. If you're to take something positive from this whole COVID situation, is that we did have some weeks where you had NFL almost every night. And I love that idea. If you had a game every night, I would watch it. I would, right? I mean, what the hell do I have to watch anyway? But I would, if there was a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would watch it. Maybe take Saturday off for college, right? For college football. But I think they should actually look at that and consider having a game every night except for Saturdays.
I said it way before that there's no reason to have 15 games on a Sunday. Spread it out through the week so you can mix the schedule, because you're going to lose some games. That makes it a lot more flexible if you can play on a Tuesday, play on a Wednesday. But they're not going to do that for us.
All right, Buffalo Bills versus Arizona Cardinals. The Bills are plus 2.5 in Arizona. Wow. They're getting 2.5 points. So Arizona's getting some respect here. But I guess the Bills, I don't touch this game, man. I have no idea who the Buffalo Bills are. They're so up and down. The Dolphins beat the Cardinals, but in all fairness, the guy donked or came up short on a field goal that would have tied the game. I don't touch this game. George?
It's a tough game. Actually, Arizona opened up 2, went to 2.5, which I was surprised. I thought people would bet Buffalo and give them a little more respect. Buffalo is off a 3-game winning streak, so I just lay off of it. It's a really tough game to bet.
Jordan?
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch this game, but I'm not playing it. I do think Arizona is going to feel a little bit gypped after the performance they put up in the loss last week to Miami, and they're going to come out angry. But Buffalo destroyed last week, and they're looking really hot. It's hard for me to tell what Buffalo team's going to show up, though. So, yeah, really? I'm staying off it altogether.
Luke?
I stay away from this one. It's too close of a game, honestly. I like the matchup, though.
All right, so we got the Denver Broncos versus the sleeping Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Broncos are getting 4 points. It's in Vegas. The Broncos they play hard. It's a division game, but I still like the Raiders here. I think the Raiders just have too much firepower for them to keep up. George?
This is one of my 4 games that I bet this week. I bet the Raiders at a pick minus 30 when it was earlier in the week. They opened up 2. It's now 4. I feel real good about my bet. The Vegas offensive line is very healthy now. Look for them to push that ball up and down the field, running it down the throat of the Denver Broncos.
Jordan?
Yeah, I'm sure all the public's going to be on the Raiders, which is a really popular pick, I imagine. I don't know about the Broncos, though. They've come out strong. It's a division rivalry. It's 4 points. I'm staying off of this one.
Lukachi?
I'm definitely going with the Raiders on this one. I like the team. I think they're a way better team than the Broncos, and I feel like they're going to come out and definitely give them a run for their money.
All right, another good ball game on paper. Now, the Niners are banged up, and they're not what they were last year for sure. But when you have that coach and you have, they were in the Super Bowl last year. He can coach, and the dangerous thing about the Niners is they may be inconsistent this year, but they can put it together for one game because they have a great coach. If he comes up with a great game plan, he can beat you in that game. However, I don't think it happens this week. I think the Saints have found their stride. I think this is too many points to mess with. I stay away from this one, but I think the Saints get them here and continue to roll. George?
You kind of said the same thing about SF last week, and they got stomped out. But
yeah, I did.
They are a really, really bad team. They're really hurt. I don't think the coach is going to get out there and play for them. I lay this 9 with the Saints. I haven't bet it, but if you're going to play it, lay the 9 with the Saints, put it in a teaser. They're not going to lose to the Niners.
Jordan?
Somewhat agree with what he said. I'm going to stay away from the sides. I like the over in this one. I like the over 49 points. I think both these teams are going to come out and score. The pieces in San Francisco, he tends to plug in different running back, different wide receivers, and they always put up points. So,
Lukachi?
Honestly, I would definitely stay away from this one. I like the Saints to win the game, but 9 points is a little bit over the top.
Yeah, I agree. And so, George, you're right. I was wrong last week, but there's a first time for everything in documented history. It's the first time. Just go back, watch all the videos. I was right about the Cowboys. Sorry, Cowboy fans. I know I'm supposed to be nice to y'all. So, anyway,
I was wrong about the Cowboys. I thought they'd go 8-8. They're way worse than that.
Cowboys covered last week. They cashed tickets. That's all I know.
They did cover last week, which was big because they were about to be the first team in history to not cover 8 weeks in a row, lose 8 weeks in a row against the spread. Never happened before.
Yep. All right, we got the Seahawks +1 at the Rams. Division game. I don't know the Rams. I mean, we were all kind of on that Ram train for a minute. I don't know about Goff anymore. He went to 1 Super Bowl. He's inconsistent. He can't move. And it seems to me like, your modern quarterbacks at the very least have to be pretty nimble in the pocket and be able to move a bit. And Goff, to me, is turning into a liability with that team, and they have a great defense. But I don't know. George, what's your take here?
This is a measuring stick game where you're just trying to find out who these teams are. I stay away from it and watch it, but you don't know what you're getting yet.
Jordan?
I don't think Goff is a liability at all. I still think he's a fantastic quarterback. He has had his troubles here and there. I think the Rams' pass blocking and run game is more of an issue as of late. That zone blocking scheme not really working. Excuse me. Give me well, on the other hand, the Seahawks are asking way too much of Russell Wilson. 4 turnovers last week. They basically expect him to do everything every week. Their offensive line play, not great, going up against Aaron Donald. You need like a magical performance, which they've gotten several times out of Russell Wilson to win this one, but I don't think they do it. I like the Rams here.
Yeah, we had a comment. The Seattle secondary is iffy. No, they're not iffy. They're fucking terrible, and they suck. They're really bad. And this is me and George talked about this when everybody was anointing them and saying they're the best team in history and this and that. And me and George kept going, well, wait a second. Russell Wilson has to pull a rabbit out of his hat every week, and you can't keep doing that. And we said that weeks and weeks ago, just for the record. That was one of the times I was actually right. Luke, you got any take here?
I agree with everything you just said, but I still have a lot of faith in Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. They're definitely going to come out and get this dub. I feel like Jamal Adams adds something that they definitely need on the secondary, and he might be the difference maker in this game.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams might have been the worst trade ever. It looked like the best one, but it might have been the worst one.
George?
I stay away from this game. I think, like I said, it's a measuring stick game where I don't think you know who really is on which side. I mean, they could both look great, both look like shit.
Luke always talks about Jamal Adams because he played high school football with Jamal Adams. So that is why he's like, oh, Jamal Adams this, Jamal Adams that.
I was on his Kool-Aid too, drinking the whole Kool-Aid, but he's sucked since he's been over there.
All right, this is going to be a real interesting game. We have the Baltimore Ravens -7 at the Patriots. I personally believe this is going to be a beatdown. I think that Baltimore wins this game by at least 10 points. At least, the Patriots squeaked by Joe Flacco and the Jets. I mean, it was a very close game. The Jets played pretty well in that game, but I am not drinking the New England Patriot Kool-Aid at all. I think they're done, and I think that you have an up-and-coming quarterback that's going to show Cam Newton actually how to run the ball. So they'll be ready for it. They'll be ready for him running the ball. They'll probably try to make him throw, but I think in the end, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens dominate this game. George?
Yeah, this is when I played early. I got it early at a good line -6. I think it's almost a trap. The line's so good, but yeah, I laid the 6 early. I think they roll this team. I don't know. I don't see any different.
Yeah. Jordan?
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the Ravens a lot this week. They're a much more solid team, and I was just looking at the injury report for the Patriots, and it's as long as my arm. It's ridiculous.
Luke?
Yeah, I have nothing else to add. Patriots most likely will get beat down.
All right, Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears, and the Vikings are negative -2.5. Really? Okay. That's it. All right, George, what's your take on this game?
He's frozen.
He's frozen. Yeah, actually, I understand this line now when I think about, the running game for the Vikings and how it's come back, and the line actually makes sense. So, Jordan, what are you thinking here?
Well, I think they're trying to factor in Kirk Cousins in prime time here, which he's generally awful, right? But the Bears haven't been that great recently. In the last few games, their defense is still very good. I like the under, even though it's low. It's a low total at 43, and I would still go under there because I think Minnesota doesn't get a running game going against Chicago's defensive front, and Chicago always has trouble scoring. So give me the under, and if I had to play a side, I would probably be on Minnesota, but I'm probably not going to take a side with Kirk Cousins in prime time. honestly.
It says the QB-less Bears. I'm assuming that he's saying Nick Foles is not a very good quarterback. And I tend to agree with that. I think Nick Foles is great as a backup, but as a starter, he has not been impressive at all. I don't touch this game at all. Luke, any thoughts on this one?
I think I'd stay away from it, but at the same time, I like defense, so I'd go ahead and go with the Chicago Bears if I had to bet this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I leave it alone. I think the Vikings are on a win streak, and the running game is back. They look like the Vikings again, so I don't touch it. Final words, Jordan.
Dalvin Cook looks fantastic. I don't know if you're talking about final words about this game or not, but fantasy player of the year. I mean, probably going forward, as long as he stays healthy, Minnesota is going to be in all these games. It's exciting to watch.
Luke, final words from Africa. You're coming back to Texas this weekend. What do you got to tell us? What tell us about Africa real quick. Sign us off.
Honestly, Africa is actually pretty cool. It's a lot better than what I expected it to be. I see a lot of opportunity for investment since I am an entrepreneur, and I look forward to hopefully getting back to the Cowboys doing something different, maybe a win or two, just a welcome home. Here's a dub, that would be nice. But other than that, that's all I got.
Well, Luke, stranger things have happened. We're going to see y'all next time. Don't hate me and Jordan, Cowboy fans, and don't hate our show just because we give you our opinion. Join the show.
George is all about the Vikings here, by the way. This is his favorite game of the week, and he's just pointed that his internet just died, so there's that. Bye, George.
All right. Peace. See ya. Lines brought to us by You Wager. Thank them. Official lines. See you. Luke, safe travels. We'll see you this weekend. Jordan, have a great weekend. Great games. We'll be chatting. See ya. Peace.
Good luck.